Hey Gemini, welcome to your weekly forecast for January 10th through the 16th. This is for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising. Now, keep in mind you might stumble upon this video outside of the time I mentioned. Don't you worry, you found it whenever you were meant to find it, whenever it was time for you to hear the messages. Keep in mind this is a general reading for the Gemini collective. Therefore, not every single message is going to resonate, but take the ones that do, leave the ones that don't. So without further ado, we're going to see what is coming up here for you guys. All right, first card coming up here is the Six of Swords. This is very positive. This is very happy. Six of Swords is smoother sailing, calmer waters. It's a peaceful mental state, and it's getting away from drama. Now, the Six of Swords has a little bit of a special meaning for me because over the years reading for people, one of the things I've seen happen, a lot of the times this is a card that comes up when you might be thinking about going on a trip. You might be thinking of visiting someplace, and you could even have it in the back of your mind that, hey, you know what? Maybe if I like it, maybe if it seems like a cool place, maybe I'll do a little bit of research and I'll check it out. And maybe in a couple of years, I might end up moving there, or in a few months or something. But I've seen it happen a lot of the times where you'll get out there, or the person will get out there, and then all of a sudden things just fall into place. And before you know it, you're relocating rather suddenly. I've seen it happen time and time again over the years reading for people. It's happened for me. It happened for me in 2021 where I was considering visiting a friend, and I pulled cards about it, and this is one of the cards that came up, and I just kind of chuckled. And sure enough, I came out for a couple of weeks, and next thing I knew, I was, getting a place of my own and just out of nowhere relocating. So a lot of the times that happens with the Six of Swords, at least for me in my readings. You might kind of think like you're going to go visit somebody, or you're going to go check a place out, and next thing you know, all of a sudden you're moving. I feel like this is especially true for those of you who might be finding a way to get away or to visit friends or family because your living situation is very chaotic, or you may have found yourself recently unemployed, or having to take time off work because of stress. You might be thinking, well, I'll just go and I'll pay someone a little visit and just kind of try to decompress. And the next thing you know, you're like, oh, I guess I'm going to stay here. This feels right to me. This feels like home. And for a lot of you, I feel like this is because you're grounding, like you're starting to ground and you're coming back into your body. And it's like energetically, you're being led geographically to the place that really kind of resonates with your spirit, or that you feel very connected to, or where you feel very at home, right? Sometimes we might go to a place and we've never been there before, but we're like, wow, I feel at home here. And maybe some of you have never had that experience before, but I feel like you're about to have that experience where you're like, this feels right to me. This feels right to me. Some of you might be having a lot of drama in your family situation, and you might have a friend just saying, you can come stay here. Like, just stay here, live here. And there could be that aspect for some of you as well. Okay. Six of Swords overall is just like, we're in the mindset where we don't want to fight. We don't want to fight. We don't want to argue. We don't want to have any kind of drama. We just want to have peace. And so it's in this peace and in this quiet that a lot of you are going to be making some really big life decisions and figuring out what you want for yourself. This is a very specific message. It's not going to be for every single one of you. But I feel some of you out there are feeling really pulled towards drawing and writing, but I'm seeing it in the old school way, like pencil or pen on notepad or on paper, sketch pad, right? I know right now a lot of things are done digitally, where people will, if they're writing, they'll type into a tablet or something, or if they're drawing, they're using some kind of electronic program or something, where they have like a little stylus electronic pen, and they might be drawing electronically. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying it's not valid, but I feel some of you are feeling really called to like the old school way, the original way of, paper or pencil on actual, paper or pen on actual, pencil or pen on actual paper. And I feel for a lot of you, this is a process in which you're clearing your mind and you're going through a really big release. And it's a way that some of you are even going into this meditative state that's helping you to manifest. I feel like you're writing down or you're putting down on paper your future. And you may not even realize it. But it's like you're speaking it, or you're writing it, or you're drawing it into existence. So if there's something that you've been feeling kind of gravitating towards, oh, I want to write about this, or I want to draw this, and maybe it's a repetitive, like this is a part of your spirit kind of helping you figure out what you're manifesting right now or where you're headed. So just be aware of that. Be aware of that. The next card that's coming up here for Gemini is the Ace of Swords. And I love this. I just got chills. Oh my gosh. It just makes me so happy. I love it when the cards flow with the messages that are coming in. Now, first and foremost, this is the realm of air. And Gemini, this is you and your beautiful airy energy, right? Gemini has a very active mind. Gemini, you guys, I kind of laugh here a little bit. You guys can be a little bit like mental gymnasts, like you're doing this mental gymnastics, or acrobatic, like you're going from one thought to the next and one idea to another idea, and you can really kind of flow through different, trains of thought and thought processes. And this can be a blessing, but it can also be a bit of a hindrance, right? It can make it difficult to get grounded or to do what needs to be done. But we talked about how a lot of you are grounding right now. And the Ace of Swords for me is a card that comes up in my readings when you're going through a crown chakra clearing, a crown chakra unblocking. Traditionally speaking, Ace of Swords can be agreements, contracts, ideas, feeling victorious in a situation, overcoming a situation. But these are all also connected to the crown chakra unblocking. I see that this card comes up a lot of the times when your limited beliefs are clearing away, and any false beliefs you've been holding on to are also clearing away. So you're coming into a much clearer, much more logical train of thought, and you're seeing solutions where once you only saw problems. You're seeing an easier way of doing things, a less complicated approach. You're able to simplify your life and find quick and easy solutions that aren't going to take you a lot of time or excessive energy. Okay? So when I see the Ace of Swords coming up, there's this beautiful mental shift that's happening where you're clearing away the mental clutter, the thoughts and the beliefs that have been holding you back. And you're finding, as I said, solutions. And I've said this in previous readings. And a lot of the time, when I see somebody having a crown chakra clearing, for some reason, it goes hand in hand in my personal experience and my experience in working with clients, where there's a third eye clearing as well. It's like as the crown chakra is clearing, the third eye is becoming more active, or the energy is flowing more easily through that third eye. And so a lot of you might even find that you have an increased intuition. A lot of you might find that you're really beginning to tap into your intuition in making the decisions that feel right to you. But the best part here is you have the best of both worlds. You have a strong intuition with the third eye, but you also have very clear thinking and logic with the crown chakra. So you're following your intuition, but you're doing it in a logical way. You're taking the steps that are setting you up for success, right? As you're following this inner guidance. It's not like the Fool card, where you're just going and taking this massive leap and not looking where you're going and landing on your head. You're doing it in an organized way. You're doing it in a logical way. The next card that's coming up here for you, Gemini, is the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands can have a few different messages and a few different meanings. Traditionally in tarot, when we see the court cards, it's taken as a person coming into a situation. It could be you if you have a fire sign placement, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. A lot of the times in love readings that I've done, some of you have heard me refer to the Knight of Wands as the outdoor cat, someone who kind of comes in and out of your life. And some of you could be dealing with that dynamic or that aspect as you're getting your life together. This person is showing up like, hey, I'm back, you know. And a lot of the times that throws us off, because it's like we're going in this new direction and all of a sudden the past resurfaces. For some of you, it might not be a romantic situation. Like I said, some of you may have found yourself unemployed or having to take time off because of stress. For some of you, this could be your job, you know, popping up and saying, hey, Gemini, let's figure this out. Or, hey, Gemini, you know, we're sorry we had to let you go, but, you know, circumstances have improved and we'd love to have you back if you're looking for work. Like, it's just something from your past. It doesn't have to be a relationship. But a lot of the times, when we're starting to go into new energy, the old situations that have been feeding off of us parasitically, like these little energetic vampires lurking in the background, they subconsciously feel like they're losing us. They feel like they're losing their supply. They feel that we're disconnecting from them and they're not going to be able to reach us. So what do? They show up and they resurface. And that throws us off, because then we think, oh, okay, maybe this is a sign. Because I was about to walk through the store. I was getting to walk through the store and then they called me. So maybe this is the universe telling me that I'm not meant to walk through the door because the past is resurfacing. Well, the past is resurfacing because the past wants to keep you in that old energy. It's safe for you to walk through the new door. It's better for you to walk through the new door, because that indicates advancement. That indicates growth. The past is just going to put you through another loop, another cycle. It's a little merry-go-round. And it might have its little quaintness, it might have its little charms, but in the end, it's just the same thing in a circle over and over again. So a lot of you might be having someone resurface, and you might be thinking, oh, okay, maybe I'm meant to stay here, but that's not really the case. That's not really the situation. Now, another way that the Knight of Wands shows up is when we're having to make a decision, but we don't have a whole lot of time. So it can be something that you were thinking of doing, and you're not having a tower moment, but circumstances are changing to where now you have to do it much sooner than you had planned. Maybe you haven't been happy where you were living. And you're like, oh, I want to get out of here. And you're like, okay, well, maybe I'll wait a little bit and I'll see. And then all of a sudden something happens and there's like, oh, we have to, have everybody from the building move out because we just discovered there's a huge issue with plumbing and we gotta, gut the whole place and redo all the pipes and nobody can live here. Like something could be happening, right? Or you might have been wanting to leave a job and all of a sudden they're coming in with this wave of layoffs or something. Like you were thinking of doing something, but you weren't going to do it just yet. And now it's being sped up. You're like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to do it now then. I was thinking of waiting 6 months. I was thinking of waiting a year, but I guess it's happening now. Sometimes the Knight of Wands can show up in that way too, where you already had this plan, but the circumstances in your life are happening in a way in which it's being sped up. The next card that's coming up here for you is the King of Wands. Now, I will say this. When I did the reading for Aries, and Aries is a fire sign, I felt like they were going to be really feeling that full moon energy that's going to be happening the week after this reading. This reading is attended for the 10th through the 16th. There's going to be a full moon on the 17th. Sometimes we might pick up on that full moon vibe or that full moon energy 3 days before, sometimes a week before. And I felt for Aries around midweek to the end of the week, they were really going to be picking up on that full moon energy and they were going to be having a really powerful release. Now, Gemini, if you have an Aries placement, this can be telling us that you're really going to be having a very big release also. But your release is coming in with the element of action. You're taking steps. It's becoming clear what is not meant for you, and you're having the replacement almost instantaneously. It's becoming clear to you that it's time to go in this new direction. We're going and we're advancing from the Knight to the King. From the Knight of Wands to the King of Wands. There's this very quick, very, very quick advancement here. This growth, this step up. This step up. I'm even feeling a sense of maturing. If you are a Gemini who you've felt kind of, and you know what, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but this just, I haven't thought about this in a long time, but I just heard it right now. I heard Child of the Zodiac. And I remember reading something a while back that Gemini is kind of seen as the child of the Zodiac. And maybe some of you feel a little bit childlike. Maybe some of you feel like, well, I'm an adult, but I don't know when I'm ever going to start feeling like an adult. Or I don't know, I don't feel like people see me as an adult. People see me as like I'm a kid still. And you might be well into your middle age. You might be in your later years. And you might still be feeling like, people see me as kind of childlike. If you are a Gemini that you've been struggling with this feeling of like people not taking you seriously and people not seeing you as a mature person. Maybe some of you have had people say to you flat out, Gemini, when are you going to grow up? I feel with this Knight of Wands followed by the King of Wands, Spirit wants you to know that you're releasing these self-criticisms and you're finding a way in which you're holding on to your passion, you're holding on to your enthusiasm and joy for life, your sense of fun, your sense of adventure, but there's also a sense of maturing here. And maybe for some of you, it's like that was the big fear. If I'm mature or if I'm, taken seriously, then I'm going to have a really boring life, or I just have to see life in a very boring way. And no, you don't have to see life in a boring way at all. And so I feel, Gemini, there's this sense of victory, this sense of holding on to your sense of magic, your sense of passion, your sense of adventure, but also maturing here and finding a way to use it to your benefit, finding a way to use it to serve you. This isn't a hindrance. This is a valuable tool. This is a skill that you can make work for yourself. Some of you might be getting into illustrations or stories or ideas for young people. You may be putting something out there, in terms of creativity, a book or a comic book or a cartoon or something. You may be getting ideas that you're putting together, something like this. And some of you are just having this sense of adventure. I do feel some of you are coming into a time that you're manifesting a period of travel, like extensive travel. So you may be setting yourself up in a way where you're going to have finances in place, or you're going to be working in a way that you can work from anywhere. And I feel like you're coming into a time of where you're traveling, you're exploring, you're seeing different places. That being said, I do feel a sense of relocation as well. Okay? So relocation and travel. But overall here, it's like you're coming into more peaceful energy, better times, happier times, victory, and not losing your joy, not losing your playfulness, but also being able to use it in a way that benefits you and in a way that's helping you to get ahead. Okay? Not sacrificing that aspect of yourself. So it feels very positive to me. I would encourage you to watch your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those might resonate more for you than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. If you would like to check out the love readings for January or the 2022 12-month forecasts, those are also linked in the description. Be sure to check those out as well. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I'm wishing you all a wonderful week and a happy new year, my dears. Take care, Gemini. Be well.